Every birthday you have.
You don't get mad as you get even, right?
How come everybody moved away?
We didn't want to
Afraid what you had to do.
They probably watched you pull in the driveway.
How about this?
Jerry, give him his presents.
I think we did all we could do to it.
Totally surprised, huh?
I was making a fool out of myself out there, making prints in her carpet. Bonnie's carpet. And I said, wait a minute, something's strange here. So old.
Did you catch all the words?
No, I didn't hear a word. Noise. What are you doing up?
No wonder. Well, no wonder Christine.
Shake your pacemaker.
No, that's I do it all.
Get your Bible.
Yeah, I called Carrie last night and
It was tough coming up with material for you, but after a
Wait
little
a
bit of
minute, you're
thought,
doing a eulogy? Did I take the insurance on that loan? How much you gonna be paid out?
I can't tell.
Hey, wait just a minute, Daddy.
Wait just a minute.
Yes, we do.
He may not last that long.
No, it's going.
We don't have much time, that's right, Calvin. He's fading fast.
Or you still want to go back to Swinson? More than ever now.
More than ever.
Born 113 and a decade long ago. Oldest of 3 children in Durham, North Carolina. In talking to Roy's 2 or 3 friends and family, we've learned a lot of interesting things about Roy that we knew that at this happy moment in his life he would like to share with you tonight. As we begin with Roy's childhood, it was rather uneventful, as the rest of his life has also been. Most of his time was spent perfecting his athletic ability and pursuing his love of fishing. Roy's first sports endeavor was not entirely successful. Now, I'm not saying that he had no athletic ability, but I am saying that if he does have any, it's still undiscovered. His career as a javelin catcher was over as soon as he caught the first one. From there, he progressed to hockey until he found out that being the hockey puck wasn't really much fun. He then truly found his calling in football, where he was told that he had a great future as an end, guard, and tackle. That is, until he found out that it meant into the bench, guarding the water bucket, and tackling anybody who came near. It was then that he gave up athletics and turned his attention elsewhere to an area much more suited to his finely honed skills, cheerleading. He was a cheerleader for 3 years at the University of North Carolina.
Go Tar Heels.
During that time, he perfected new techniques such as the one-man pyramid and the trip and roll maneuver later used by Gerald Ford. Roy didn't figure out why his cheers didn't excite the crowd until after he left, and he realized that he had spent 3 years alone in front of the visitor section. Roy then began his military career. Roy's much too modest to have talked about that, but we found out in talking to the people that knew him that he was the original Rambo. Only the name was changed. His nickname sparked fear in the Viet Cong, adoration from those at home, and respect in his own men. Yes, Roy, we're talking about the nickname Roy Boy. It was in the military that we first saw Roy's great intellect and knowledge exhibited. When asked before his first combat mission if he was taking his M16, Roy said, "You bet. M16, M17, whatever it takes." Roy also organized the Kamikaze Pilots annual reunion. An interesting sidelight to Roy's military career can be found in what Mindy was doing while her man was at war. She was perfecting her penmanship in the second grade. That's right, the second grade. As you're well aware, there's a small age difference between Mindy and Roy. That is, if you view small the same way as you view the Grand Canyon as Roy's first midlife crisis occurred as he contemplated married and family life. In typical Roy fashion, he became confused and couldn't decide what to do, so he did both. He married someone young enough to adopt. You know, we each have our favorite Roy stories. As you get around a group and Roy's not present, you begin to think about the things that Roy stands for and the things that Roy has done. I know my favorite Roy story occurred when Roy and I were out camping one day. We decided that we were going bear hunting. Set up our camp, and I'm all excited, ready to get up the next morning and go hunt bears. I get up early, and to my surprise, there's a bear in the camp. Well, knowing that Roy is calm under fire, I know that Roy will know what to do. So I run into a panic, wake him up and say, "Roy, there's a bear in the camp." He says, "Dave, don't worry about it." All this while, he's calmly getting dressed. I run back out, and the bear's getting madder, and I run back in and said, Roy, we got to do something." He said, "Dave, don't worry about it. It's under control." And he's putting on his shoes, his tennis shoes. I said, "Roy, you're nuts. You can't outrun that bear." He says, "Dave, I don't have to. I only have to outrun you." Roy's also going to be remembered for his great thinking ability. As we were talking about Roy before everybody got here, Jerry wasn't here. Mark was relating the story about the time he walked into Roy's house unannounced and found Roy sitting at his table. There in front of Roy was a thermos bottle. Roy was looking at it, around, under, over. And Mark said, "Roy, what are you doing?" He said, "How does it know?" And Mark said, "How does it know what?" He said, "If you put hot in it, it stays hot. And you put cold, it stays cold. How does it know?" You know, Roy is also going to go down in history as a great Trivial Pursuit player. Last time I played Trivial Pursuit with Roy, he was absolutely phenomenal. The man never missed on a history question, and then I thought, well, why not? He's been there. Roy's also going to be remembered as a great fisherman. We were talking to Chuck, and Chuck was relating his favorite Roy story about the time they were ice fishing. He and Roy weren't having much success. They looked at the fishing hole next to him, and a man was peering intently down into the water, and every so often he would reach down and grab a fish. And Roy said, "I got to find out what the deal is. I want to ask him what he's doing." He said, "Sure, I'll tell you." He said, "It's mind over matter, smarter than the fish." And he said, "I'll show you." He took a fish, the fish was going. And he looked at it and said, "Mind over matter, mind over matter." And pretty soon the fish got calm. And he was able to pick it up out of the water. And Roy said, "Hey, for a mind like mine, that's easy." So he says, "Let me practice one." He picks up the fish, and the fish is going. And he says, "Mind over matter, mind over matter." Chuck says 2 minutes later when he looked, there goes Roy going. Roy is also known as a snappy dresser. We have here an example of one of Roy's ties. You know, in sales, image is everything. You sell how you look. Roy obviously forgot that he sells nuts and bolts for the phone company and figures that he's selling laser pictures of Elvis on black velvet. Looks to me like there may be a Volkswagen missing a set of seat covers. Roy's also a great family man. For those of you that don't know, he has 3 wonderful children. Mindy's starting to get concerned, though. She says that if Roy doesn't figure it out soon, she's going to have to break down and tell him where they're coming from before they wind up with a dozen. You know, Roy's also been labeled cheap by some people, and that's just not true either. It wasn't his fault that he lived with Mindy's aunt and uncle for 6 weeks when they first came to Texas. It wasn't easy on him either. It was real tough there toward the end to convince them that every hotel room in Dallas was booked solid. It finally got over, though. They kicked him out because of all the screaming. At first they thought it was Christine until Mindy explained to them that it was just Roy squeezing those quarters until the eagle screamed on him. As we come to the end of our night and we review your life, Roy, it seems appropriate that we end with the thought of you as your life has been over and you've gone on to your reward in heaven. We have a tale from one of our friends that went up there soon afterwards that said when he got to heaven, he got up and said, "Peter, may I come in?" And Peter said, "Sure." He said, "But there has been a small problem in your life, and there's a small thing that you're going to have to do for the rest of eternity." And he pointed over, and there stood one of the ugliest women you have ever seen in your life. Stringy hair, pimply face, just horrible looking. Peter said, "You're in heaven, but this woman is you're going to escort this woman for the rest of eternity on your elbow." Immediately the guy said, "Well, it's better than the alternative. I think I'll go in." He'd been in for 5 minutes when all of a sudden he saw you, Roy. And on one arm you've got Bo Derek, and on the other arm you've got Linda Evans, and you are grinning from ear to ear. The first thing he does is runs back to Peter and says, "Peter, we got a problem." He said, "I was bad, but that's Roy Tyndall." Now, I knew Roy Tyndall on earth, and there is absolutely no reason why he has Bo and Linda. And Peter says, "Shut up, we're punishing Bo and Linda." Boy, this is the end of the deal. Seriously, we're going to take a serious moment here and tell you that we do appreciate you as a friend and as a Christian and as a family man. We like what you stand for, and we appreciate your friendship. And we look forward to doing this on a fairly regular basis. It's one of those gifts you have to pretend like you like it no matter what, huh?
I know that they probably looked all over Glen Rose for this. Both places.
Went to.
Went to Cleveland?
No,
She read that and spotted it.
Oh, hey, now this is good stuff.
Now, aren't you sorry you
I'm
were
sorry.
Only
Oh,
your
it was nice to
mother-in-law.
Mary Ann, though.
It goes with your tie.
Now open it up.
In spite of the lack of fancy wrap or packaging, you've got to admit this is easier than picking through cans and mixing nuts to enjoy your favorite cashew. Thank you.
No,
The
that's
whole
it.
entire team, it's got to be a jar to put them in. Oh.
We can take our shirt back.
That's right. Oh.
That would start some dire rumors. You could put it's just a joke.
It's just a joke.
I don't think the other founders would follow.
It's gonna go great if we start right.
Maybe a shortcut with that. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Those are the hats.
All right.
All right.
I love that hat.
Hold it up for the camera, Roy.
Oh, yeah.
Who's that from, Roy?
What's her name?
Bonnie Sherry.
Bonnie Sherry.
Hard to remember that age, isn't it?
Yeah.
She has
I'm the
all
one
numbers
that
too.
knows.
Nothing unusual about that.
Mandy, is this it?
No, that's not it.
Well, this is a complete
That's a nice
ensemble. Socks, the small.
Well, look at your feet.
Save them and Mindy can wear them in 15 years.
This one.
I don't think she heard that.
Who said that?
Your favorite sister-in-law. No, aunt-in-law.
I can relate to this. It says the whole darn world is on back order. I tell my customers all the time, it's on back order. We'll see to it. It's creeping up on you. It's probably just your underwear. Kathleen, Roger, and Andy, and Donna, and Connie, and
Oh, you got a lot of
oh, it's a theme. I say over the hill paper.
That's good.
It's a pain.
Kathleen, did you help her pick up the card?
No. We're done to do that. Kathleen explained that to me.
Over the hill helps prevent old age. Let's say here.
Is that what
The audio age, to cure old age, repellent can be used for spray praying the gray away, eliminating another birthday, making another year go away, taking your mind off your hemorrhoids, making you laugh instead of cry. Open it up.
First thing you do. That's really more of a gag on us because when Madonna got it, she didn't know you had to ask the guy for the thing.
That's right, just do it because the first thing I did was I took the cap off the spray and there's no thing. And then I see this little sign, ask the cash register guy for it, you know.
She has all signs
And I
too.
forgot it. Oh, we'll give it to him anyway. It'll be funny.
That's even better.
That way it'll last a long time, Roy.
You're gonna get it.
Once you're over the hill, you pick up speed. That's what it says here. That's nice to know.
I can attest to that.
Now, Christine or Emily can do this real well. That's what they do.
Matthew wrapped it.
If I'd have known that you'd been aware of this tonight, I would have moved that 60-40 seat a lot more than I did. When you were sitting in the middle. Dilemmas, ponderings, and queries that make you middle-aged crazy.
Roy, put your finger on that dot at the bottom and see what you write.
Hold finger on dot for 10 seconds. Or the
Kinda
color
late for
change
that game
dot.
though, isn't it?
If it stays black, yeah, you're middle-aged crazy, right? If it turns red, you're too tense, it's green, your calm, it's blue, you're laugh. It's gonna stay black.
Oh, he's quick.
Well, I'll take that back. It did actually turn the color here, but I
You
can't
have
tell
to leave
you.
it longer than it says.
Oh.
That was a test. We did.
Don't go to sleep, Roy.
I don't know, just have to keep doing it. About 5 more
Are you
seconds.
fishing real hard?
Real hard.
About as hard as you can at his age.
It's green, calm, but not game to add spice to your life.
You know what? It did that on everybody. I think they just wanted to find the game.
I'm glad they wrote this in big letters. So Say, when one turns 40, it isn't unusual for dramatic and bizarre shifts in behavior to occur. This should be interesting. Well, yes. This one says, so you're turning 40, huh? I wish. I remember when I was a kid, I thought 40 was ancient. Actually, I still do. I'll get even with you. You know you're over 40 when? Can you hear any of these?
Read, right, Charlie, what? Read the very last
The last,
page out, yeah.
this one, you know you're over 40 when? Someone throws a surprise party and all your friends come and they bring you gag gifts that poke fun at various parts of you.
And the rest of them you want to reserve for.
In your library. Where you spend money for spending time.
I can't read that one in here.
Can I?
I'm gonna pick out one for you to read.
The late, great Roy Silver in your hair, gold in your teeth, gas in your stomach. Wait a minute, stomachs. We may be getting older, but we're gonna be worth a fortune. David Donald.
Old soul.
Getting older, but, oh, this says Texas on it. I want to know box, same product.
Mindy asked us to get those for you.
Oh,
They might as well be anyway when I put it, you know.
How often do you wash?
That's what he's talking, diverting attention.
Hindi. Is that your first name?
That's called diverting attention.
No, I'm just kidding. Way to go for that.
You know you're over 40 when you realize certain foods just aren't compatible with your gastrointestinal system. You develop a taste for bran flakes.
You notice everybody's pointing too.
Personally, I'm sort of looking forward to old age, because then, when I'm grouchy, people will think it's quaint. Jim and
Must be the rounders, that's what
the rounders.
Yeah.
40th, give or take, an ish. 40th, give or take an ish. That's all. I forgot.
Oh my goodness.
Not to know you're growing older. Your pacemaker makes the garage door go up and you watch a pretty girl go by. You sink your teeth into a steak and they stay there. You look forward to a dull evening. You turn out the lights for economic rather than romantic reasons. You sit in a rocking chair and can't get it going. Your knees buckle and your belt won't. Dialing long distance wears you out. Your back goes out more than you do. Everything hurts, and what doesn't hurt doesn't work. Your little black book contains only names ending in MD. You get winded playing chess. You join a health club and don't go. You're still chasing women but can't remember why.
In there, and then everybody will come over. You love it. No matter what you have to kill me.
Not necessarily.
So who are we gonna bring back?
The one that I sent? Does everybody know it?
Happy birthday, happy birthday. Pain and suffering and despair, people dying everywhere. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Roy, we're gonna all have to blow our own candles out because we don't think you've got enough.
I should hope so. Everything's going dark.
Can you look at your kite?
I guess I should have a picture of that.
Yeah.
Happy
That's
birthday,
better.
Okay.
Black and gray.
I got it in a size that neither one of my children can wear. Look, I can't get up.
Oh, get this between my teeth, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh.
Watch this part.
On purpose.